Hello, everyone. My name is Jared Yellen, and I am a chiropractic ambassador like all of you. And my goal and my vision with Project Chiropractic is to expose you to a profession called chiropractic, which might be exactly what you've been searching for years when it comes to your health. You just didn't know to call it chiropractic. And understand, this is not coming from a biased place. I'm a layperson just like you, but I've been exposed to chiropractic, and now I am driven to bring other people who have experienced chiropractic transformations to you so that you can hear their story, and if anything that they share resonates, chiropractic might be your answer. So I have the great pleasure for this interview to be joined by Anita Theart, who is coming from Zionsville, Indiana, which is in Indiana, and her chiropractor actually is Dr. Gerald Whalen, who's a good friend of mine. And Anita has a really special story, and I'm really excited to have her share this with you. So Anita, thank you so much for making the space in your life to share your chiropractic transformation.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Definitely. So tell me a little bit about you. So what was your life like before chiropractic? Because there was a point, I'm sure, where you weren't necessarily exposed to what you're currently living. And I would just like you to feel the courage to open up and share what that was like for you.
Well, life was good. I always used to be an athlete. I did a lot of interesting things back in Africa, where I'm from. Did a lot of kayaking, rock climbing, adventure sports, and of course gymnastics and so forth. And so of course picked up a lot of injuries along the way. But I was lucky enough to not be too stopped by it. So, but the biggest things that as I started to hit my 30s was that it started to come back to me in terms of a neck injury, neck discomfort, low back discomfort, and so I would find myself at least twice a year freeze with a frozen neck, where I would be immobile for a day or two or three, and even my low back would do that at times. And I kind of just accepted that as, you know, that is life. Would take some meds for it and feel better after a while. And then another thing that was that I didn't quite realize the importance of is that I thought stuff like having headaches is just part of life. Getting the flu, colds, symptoms of allergies, itching, stuff on the skin, things like that. I just thought, you know, we all have it, and that's just to be accepted and to have at times. So that was life without chiropractic care.
Yeah, no, it's so interesting you say that, because it's almost like society has been conditioned to believe that it's normal that during the spring or the fall, like, you're going to get allergies and you're going to be in a fog, and it's normal to have headaches that are debilitating for a day every month, or in your situation to have frozen neck, or it's just this is what happens. Yes. But it doesn't have to be that way. And it's, for me, like, one of the things that drives me to get the message out there about chiropractic is that so many people, from my perspective, they're living as a shell of what's possible. Like, they're living as a shell of who they truly are, because they're not able to experience vitality. They're not able to experience what optimal health is all about. Tell me what that means to you based on where you were prior to being exposed to the chiropractic lifestyle.
Yes, that is something that really touches my heart when you say not knowing what optimal life and vitality could be like. And it's not even as if I was really someone that was sick or struggled that much. But yes, that is just it. There's more.
Yeah.
There's more.
Do you recall, like how many years have you been under chiropractic care at this point?
I was very ignorant about chiropractic care until I moved to the U.S., and that was in 2001. And I had a friend that recommended Dr. Whalen after I complained of my neck discomfort. and that's when it started. So that's about 13, 14 years ago.
Gotcha. Do you remember what, like you said, you were maybe skeptical or like around chiropractic prior? What was your belief system before you met Dr. Willing? When you thought of a chiropractor, what came to your mind?
Well, I would, ignorance is the first thought. I didn't really know much about it. I think what I did know at that stage was just, it was kind of like quackery. It wasn't true. It's not seen as a doctor as such. Or I think that was my thoughts. I didn't just, it wouldn't have been an option for me if it wasn't a friend that just guided me.
Gotcha. I know it's so true. Like because over time, I mentioned this before when we were just preparing. Like this video is going to be viewed by millions of people who are considering the possibility of chiropractic. Maybe a friend said, "Hey, just check out Project Chiropractic. Just watch some of these videos because you'll see like this is what I've experienced as a result of being under chiropractic care. And these stories, they're really inspiring and they showcase chiropractic transformations and there's a chance that you might be able to relate." And there are people that it's ignorance. What you said is so true. And when it comes to your health, ignorance isn't bliss. Like that's not a good thing, right? Like to really not know what your options are and to kind of just be led down this path, or to live a life that's less than optimal. Like that's not ignorance being bliss at all. If anything, that means that it's time to be exposed to an alternative, which is what chiropractic is. And I even know with my journey, like my first time getting adjusted when I was 21 years old. And prior to that, I was a natural bodybuilder. I lived the chiropractic lifestyle from the standpoint of health and well-being, but I didn't get adjusted. And then once I had my first adjustment, I was like, where was this for the past 21 years? And now I'm like this ambassador who says that once I have children, they're going to be under care because that's when it should begin. And I was ignorant also, and I'm sure that millions of people that are going to watch this video, they are in the place that you once were. Yes. So what's transpired for you? Now that you've been under care for the past like almost 13 years from the time that this video has been recorded, what has changed? Like, what is your life like now that you're living the chiropractic lifestyle?
Well, first of all, I would think my biggest thing is that I learned that the body has a beautiful, amazing power to heal itself. That its default is almost, the default is that if you just give me a chance, I will do my thing. And so I trust that. I have learned that that is my first path to go, is to my chiropractor. He's the first place where I would like to know what's happening in my body, and just not just in my structural body, but also in the deeper levels, the deeper layers, my emotional body, my organs, my nutrition. Dr. Whalen just helps there with all levels of my body, of my being. And so after 13 years of regular chiropractic care, I am pain-free. I have mobility in my neck that I thought the first time Dr. Whalen, my very first visit, Dr. Whalen adjusted my neck. It was a scary popping sound, and of course that shocked me for a moment. And then when I got up from there, I thought, my words were, I'm like a cat. I can turn my neck in all directions. That range of motion that I got back was just, like we said, we didn't think, it was just natural to lose that. So, I don't even know where to start. So physically, it sorted it out. But then after a few visits, the real miracle for me happened when Dr. Whalen started neuroemotional technique on me. And that is where I really got into my stuff, my stuck stuff of my the stuff that limited me of growing towards my full potential and my life purpose, finding that. So through the years, with NET specifically, I learned so much about myself, and I think that's the gift is coming back to your body, and to continue to discover the layers that we have, and moving, and as we get rid of, both specifically for me through neuro-emotional technique, getting rid of those limited beliefs because of old stuff that's just keeping you, that makes you reactive in life, in relationships, in, oh man, and getting rid of that is just precious. And in that process, I've learned the different nuances of emotions, and so that now outside, as I live my life and I experience different emotions, it's not just one thing. I know exactly what I'm feeling, and as I identify that, I create a little space between me and my emotion that I am experiencing, and so that's just life-changing. So I've since I started my care under Dr. Whalen, I have been twice needed to go to a Western doctor for medicine other than having babies and that part. But so I'm just so healthy, and I'm so grateful for that. One of the other things that was huge for me is moving to starting my chiropractic journey at the age I was 35 years old, and at that stage my husband and I were together forever, and we never thought that we would have children. And I think, or not think, I know that underneath that was fear of being good enough to be a mom. And through the neuro-emotional technique that you can see, this is still I'm so grateful for NET, that, and working with that, I just realized, well, I can do that. And so I very quickly fell pregnant. That's the South African way, direct. I became pregnant, and through my pregnancy, Dr. Whalen was there, so I had no symptoms of complications, no complications. I had two amazing pregnancies, and both births were unassisted, natural births. So just that is huge. And then from there on, after that, my babies were a week old when I started chiropractic care for them. And he checked them and made sure that they were well aligned after this traumatic experience of being born. So yeah, he was just there all the way. Chiropractic care, it's my thing.
Special. And I love the emotion. You're glowing when you talk about it, and like, for those people that are watching, that they may have never experienced this yet, because with our ability to touch millions of people with this video, there's going to be a huge percentage that they just haven't been exposed yet to what we're referring to. And like the glow that you have, like think of the glow, and like you're talking about having children and having all natural pregnancy because of being educated around how this is possible, and then having your children checked within 1 week of entering this beautiful earth so that they can experience health and vitality. What are your thoughts around a mother who might be watching this at this point, and maybe they're under care, maybe they're not, but they have children who aren't, because they're afraid. They're just not sure whether or not chiropractic will help their children. What do you think that mother should know?
I cannot imagine not having that. You know, especially my first child is what I like to call high-spirited child. She's a very sensitive kid, and it's always been hard for me, and I think probably just like her mom, so that relationship has been hard, and that's where he has been a huge help. In a structural sense, they think chiropractic care is their checkup, like other kids go to the doctor for checkup. I take my children when they complain of a neck issue, when they have a headache. That's just the way I go, because I don't like to give them meds. I don't like to give the message that, here, take a pill and you will feel better. I want them to know that their body has a beautiful wisdom, and through maintenance, through taking care of that, the body will balance itself, and it will continue to be vital with vitality, health. So I would highly recommend it. I think, like I say, I cannot imagine. I think it's such a beautiful message to give your child, is that let's just look at your body, and let's, through chiropractic care, bring it back to optimal health without teaching them to take medicine for it. So, and then the emotional parts with this sensitive child, she had sleep issues. Well, it comes and goes, and whenever we kind of build up, and then off to Dr. Whalen we would go, and he would help with that. He would test through muscle testing. He would things like have her make statements like, "I am safe in my room," and that's where the session would begin with NET, and she would not be able to make that statement truthfully. And what a great gift after a session to be able for that 11-year-old, 10-year-old daughter of mine would say, "I am safe in my room." And what more can you want? What more can you ask for? So, yes, it's just the way I go.
That's wonderful. Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I would just recommend it. Try it. I mean,
yeah, that's
why?
Great.
There's nothing bad that can come from it, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that's so special. So just in closing, for anyone out there who would be skeptical, maybe a little bit unsure, maybe now because they saw your passion and they heard your story, like they're more open to it, what would you want them to know so that they have the courage to make that decision, which we know is going to help them live life optimally? What would be like a final thing that you want the world to know about chiropractic?
Well, I think for any change, in order to happen, just trust and take the step and try something new, because this is something that brings you back to yourself and your own potential, and it keeps growing. Once you give that chance, once you open that door, once you recognize that potential within yourself, and trust that it keeps growing. There's no coming back from that, and it's just beautiful. So just take the step, trust it.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So Anita, thank you so much for sharing your story. This is what Project Chiropractic is all about. It's about just bringing chiropractic to the world. Because what I know to be true, and I'm sure that you would agree, the world truly wants it. They just don't even know to call it chiropractic. And from my perspective, the best way to get the world to recognize that their burning desire when it comes to their health and their vitality is called chiropractic, the best way to do that is people like you and I that have experienced the transformations and just want to share it. We just want to share it with as many people as possible. So for those of you who are watching this video, and we anticipate over time having millions of people watch these videos, if you're at a place in your life where you recognize that you want to experience more, you want to live with vitality, you want to raise a healthy family, go and find a chiropractor near you. Because that's what this is about. It's just about bringing chiropractic to the world. So Anita, thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you, your beautiful smile, your laugh, your passion. And for those of you watching, thank you for your time as well. And as we always say, together we achieve more. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Jared.